Right now, at this very moment, you are living someone else's life. You think you are making your own choices. You believe you are pursuing your own goals. You imagine you are building your own future. But the devastating truth is that you have abandoned yourself so completely that you don't even recognize your own reflection anymore. You wake up every single day focused on everyone else's needs. You worry about everyone else's opinions. You strive to meet everyone else's expectations. Meanwhile, the most important person in your life, you, gets whatever tiny scraps of attention are left over. This isn't just about being busy or feeling overwhelmed. This is about something far more dangerous. You have systematically trained yourself to believe that focusing on yourself is selfish. You have been told that putting your own growth first is wrong. You feel that caring about your own development is somehow less important than pleasing others. That belief is destroying you from the inside out. But everything is about to change. The most successful and powerful people in the world have one thing in common. They made a decision that most people will never make. They decided that they are their own number one priority. This is not about being narcissistic. It is about recognizing a fundamental truth. You cannot give what you do not have. Today, you are going to learn how to rebuild yourself from the ground up. You will learn to make self-focus a complete life transformation. By the time we are done, you will understand why this shift is the difference between an average life and an extraordinary one. Welcome to Elite Summaries. We are glad you are here to take this journey towards self-mastery. If you are ready to stop living for others and start building your own empire, make sure to subscribe and join our community. Your transformation starts now. We are currently living through a self-abandonment epidemic. It is the most destructive force in modern life. Millions of people are disconnected from themselves. They live in service to everyone except the person who matters most. This starts the moment we are born. We are conditioned to seek external validation. As children, we learn that love comes when we make others happy. We get praise when we perform. We get affection when we meet expectations. Slowly, we learn that our worth is tied to how well we serve others. By the time we are adults, we don't even realize we are doing it. We structure our entire day around external demands and deadlines. In the chaos of serving everyone else, the self disappears. This is identity destruction. When you focus on everyone else, you lose touch with who you are. Your dreams become fuzzy. Your goals become unclear. You start defining yourself entirely by your relationships. You become someone's employee or someone's friend, but you stop being you. This creates learned helplessness. You become accustomed to reacting rather than creating. You stop trusting your own judgment. You start living on autopilot. The cruelest part is that the more you focus on others, the less you actually have to give. When you neglect your own growth, you become a depleted version of yourself. You show up to life running on empty. You think you are being generous by putting others first, but you are actually cheating them out of the best version of yourself. This is why so many feel stuck and unfulfilled. They build lives that look successful on the outside, but feel empty on the inside. You must decide today that you are your most important project. Science shows that your brain is not designed to constantly focus on others. It is a biological fact. Your nervous system and emotional regulation require self-focused attention to function. When you neglect this, you're damaging your brain. Your brain has a default mode network. This network is active when you are not focused on external tasks. It is responsible for self-reflection and processing experiences. It is how your brain maintains your sense of self. When you constantly react to external demands, you suppress this network. You rob your brain of the downtime it needs to grow. The result is continuous partial attention. You are always distracted and overwhelmed. You become more susceptible to other people's stress. You start absorbing the energy around you instead of generating your own. You become an emotional sponge. Research is clear on this. People who engage in self-focused activities show increased activity in the prefrontal cortex. This is the part of the brain responsible for decision-making and self-control. They also show decreased activity in the amygdala, which is the brain's fear center. This means they are less anxious and more stable. Those who neglect self-focus have a hyperactive fear center. They literally rewire their brains for internal chaos. But neuroplasticity means you can change this. You can rebuild your neural pathways. Just 20 minutes of daily self-focus can reverse years of self-abandonment. Your brain starts thinking more clearly. You start making decisions from a place of internal wisdom. Self-focus is not selfish. It is essential. You have been programmed like a machine. Every time you check your phone for likes, you strengthen a pathway of dependency. Every time you seek approval before a decision, you become weaker. You are addicted to external validation. This addiction destroys your ability to build a life on your own terms. Every time you get validation, your brain releases dopamine. This creates a reward cycle that makes you crave more. The more you rely on this, the less you can generate internal validation. Your self-validation muscle atrophies when it isn't used. If you need others to tell you that you are good enough, your internal system shuts down. You lose the ability to feel secure without external input. You become a people pleaser by default. You make decisions based on what gets approval rather than what gets results. You choose the safe path even if it means sacrificing your dreams. This is how you program yourself for mediocrity. You become so focused on not disappointing others that you guarantee you will disappoint yourself. The people whose validation you seek often don't want you to succeed beyond them. It is human psychology to be threatened by those who outgrow us. When you seek their approval, you are asking for permission to stay small. The most successful people are often misunderstood or criticized. They have learned to generate their own validation. They trust their own vision regardless of what others think. Breaking free is about rebuilding your internal scorecard. You must learn to celebrate your own victories. You must develop an internal locus of control. This is the belief that you have the power to influence your own outcomes. To rebuild your identity, you need a daily self-audit system. Most people go through life without ever truly knowing themselves. They react based on old patterns and inherited beliefs. A daily audit strips away the programming. It starts with a morning identity check. Before you check your phone or talk to anyone, ask yourself who you are today. Ask what you stand for and what you are building. This forces you to consciously choose your identity. Without this, you just default to whoever you were yesterday. The second part is the hourly awareness pause. Every hour, stop and ask if you are acting in alignment with your goals. Are you making choices that build the person you want to become? This prevents you from sleepwalking through your day. It creates opportunities for course correction. You catch misalignment early. The third part is the evening integration review. At the end of the day, examine your thoughts and behaviors. Don't just record what happened. Analyze the data like a scientist. Identify your triggers and emotional patterns. Discover what truly motivates you versus what you think should motivate you. Over time, you see who you really are beneath the conditioning. Finally, perform a monthly authenticity assessment. Deeply examine if your goals are actually yours. Are you in relationships that support your authentic self? Uncomfortable truths are the beginning of real transformation. This system makes you your own most trusted advisor. You stop being a stranger to yourself. You take back ownership of your story. You are living in a prison you built yourself. Every time you say yes when you mean no, you add a bar to the cage. This prison is people-pleasing. It is a form of self-violence. You are teaching your mind that other people's comfort is more important than your truth. You are systematically erasing yourself. But people-pleasing doesn't make people happy. It just makes them comfortable. When you never express your real desires, you rob others of the chance to know the real you. You create relationships based on a mask. This leads to isolation because no one actually knows you. The roots of this often go back to childhood. You might have learned that love was conditional on being quiet or agreeable. But what worked as a survival strategy as a kid becomes a success prevention strategy as an adult. You cannot please your way to the top. Every breakthrough requires you to disappoint someone. You must be willing to be misunderstood. You must prioritize your growth over other people's comfort. Breaking free requires recognizing that you cannot control other people's emotions. Their happiness is their responsibility, not yours. You can be kind without sacrificing yourself. Practice strategic selfishness. This means prioritizing your own health and growth so you can show up as your best self. Build your tolerance for disapproval. Disapproval is not dangerous. It is just an uncomfortable emotion. The discomfort of disappointing someone passes, but the regret of not living authentically lasts forever. To become emotionally invincible, you must build an internal validation system. You have been an emotional hostage to other people's opinions. Every criticism devastates you because you have outsourced your self-worth. You need to develop an internal locus of evaluation. This means judging your worth based on your own standards. Criticism becomes just an interesting data point rather than an emotional earthquake. Start by creating an internal scorecard. Measure your success by your own metrics. Did you act in alignment with your values? Did you face a fear? Did you treat yourself with kindness? These are things you control. This makes you independent of things you cannot control, like other people's moods. Use self-compassion to end the internal harshness. When you are hard on yourself, you become desperate for external praise as relief. Treat yourself like a dear friend. This doesn't mean ignoring flaws. It means acknowledging them without collapsing. Build evidence-based self-confidence. Keep a record of your wins and skills. When doubt creeps in, look at the concrete proof of your capabilities. Be selective about feedback. Not all critics are worth listening to. Evaluate feedback based on the credibility of the source and the accuracy of the information. If it doesn't meet the criteria, acknowledge it and let it go. Practice controlled exposure to disapproval. Share a minor, unpopular opinion. Make a choice that might disappoint someone. Each time you survive the discomfort, you build immunity. You become free to take the risks necessary for greatness. Your energy is your life force, and it is being stolen every day. Conversations with draining people and relationships where you give more than you receive siphon your energy. You are surrounded by energy vampires. Often, these are people you care about. They might be family members who complain but never change. They might be friends who only call when they need a favor. The problem is that you haven't established boundaries. You've been told that being a good person means being available to everyone. That is a lie that keeps you weak. You cannot pour from an empty cup. Start with energy awareness. Pay attention to how you feel after interactions. Notice which environments make you feel heavy. Conduct an energy audit of your relationships. Create boundary architecture. These are filters for what you allow into your mental space. Use the emotional firewall technique. Remind yourself that other people's chaos is theirs, not yours. You can be compassionate without absorbing their stress. Practice strategic unavailability. Turn off your phone and create protected time for your own growth. If you are available to everyone, you are available to no one of importance. Focus on energy replenishment. Find activities that restore you, like solitude or creative work. Treat energy like a financial investment. If a relationship drains more than it provides, change the dynamic. When you protect your energy, you become capable of sustained high performance. Your body and mind are a single integrated system. You cannot rebuild your mind while ignoring your physical foundation. Your body is the vehicle for your consciousness. Physical reconstruction starts with nutritional intelligence. Food is information for your cells. Processed sugar programs your body for inflammation and fatigue. Whole foods program it for clarity and vitality. Eat for performance, not just pleasure. Movement is another pillar. Exercise isn't just for fitness, it is for brain health. Cardio increases blood flow to the brain and supports the growth of new cells. Strength training builds mental resilience and toughness. Sleep is not a luxury. It is a biological necessity for repair. Optimize your sleep by creating a dark, cool environment and avoiding screens before bed. Mental reconstruction requires cognitive hygiene. Be selective about the information you consume. Toxic social media programs your mind for distraction. Read books that challenge you and have conversations that stimulate your mind. Practice mental training through meditation. This develops your ability to focus and remain calm under pressure. Finally, reconstruct your belief system. Identify beliefs that limit your potential and replace them with empowering ones. When your body is strong and your mind is clear, you become capable of achievements that once seemed impossible. There is a force inside you called internal resistance. It is more dangerous than any external enemy. It is the reason you start strong but fade quickly. It is a psychological defense mechanism meant to keep you safe. Your mind perceives change as a threat. It would rather keep you safe and small than risk the unknown. This is why you procrastinate. Resistance takes several forms. There is the comfort zone gravitational pull. Your brain has established neural pathways that make old habits automatic. When you try to change, you are fighting gravity. The key is consistent repetition to build new pathways. There is also identity protection syndrome. Your mind fights to maintain its current picture of who you are. If you see yourself as undisciplined, your mind will sabotage your progress to prove it right. The solution is identity evolution through action. Act as the person you want to become until your mind accepts it. Beware of perfectionism paralysis. Your mind sets impossible standards to prevent you from starting. Embrace strategic imperfection. Doing something poorly is better than doing nothing perfectly. Stop fear-based forecasting. Your mind imagines disaster scenarios to justify inaction. Conduct a reality-based assessment instead. Recognize that resistance will never fully disappear. You must develop resistance resilience. Feel the resistance and take action anyway. Eventually, the resistance fades as the new behavior becomes your nature. To reach the top 1%, you need advanced strategies. The first is systematic self-optimization. Don't just try random techniques. Approach your development like an engineer. Understand how physical health affects career performance and how finances affect stress. Find the leverage points where small changes create huge results. The second is temporal self-management. Align your immediate choices with your lifetime mission. Think about the impact of your actions across all time horizons. Identify your personal energy rhythms and schedule your hardest work for your peak hours. Third is identity architecture. Consciously design your values and capabilities. Don't just accept what was given to you. Craft your personal brand strategically. Fourth is adversity utilization. Don't just survive challenges, metabolize them. Extract every lesson and use the difficulty as fuel. Fifth is influence multiplication. Design your environment to support your growth. Build relationships with people who challenge you. Sixth is anti-fragility. Build systems that get stronger from stress. Create multiple skill sets and income streams so you aren't dependent on one source of security. Position yourself to benefit from uncertainty rather than just protecting yourself from it. These strategies transform linear growth into exponential transformation. You become someone who consistently exceeds expectations. Growth often happens in waves, but you can create unstoppable momentum. The secret is the momentum multiplication system. Use progression stacking. Structure your goals so each win makes the next one easier. For example, a morning routine builds the discipline needed for fitness, which builds the energy for career success. Focus on compound skill development. Prioritize meta skills like learning how to learn or emotional regulation. These skills multiply the value of everything else you do. Practice success momentum capturing. Don't just move to the next task after a win. Use the confidence boost to tackle a bigger challenge immediately. Leverage the credibility you gained to open new doors. Master failure fast-forward processing. Don't get lost in the emotions of a setback. Rapidly analyze what went wrong, extract the lesson, and apply it to your next attempt. Finally, use environment momentum design. Structure your surroundings so that positive behaviors are automatic. When your environment supports your goals, you don't need to rely on willpower. You develop a state where continued growth becomes easier than stagnation. Finally, you must create a personal operating system. Your life currently runs on unconscious habits and inherited beliefs. You can upgrade this system. Your operating system consists of your default settings and decision-making protocols. Design your defaults so your morning and work routines happen without thought. This saves mental energy for big decisions. Create protocols for making choices based on long-term goals rather than immediate desires. This eliminates decision fatigue. Design stress response programs. Predetermine how you will handle pressure or failure so you don't panic. Build growth routines into your schedule so you are always learning. Assessment, design, and implementation are the three phases of installation. Audit your current patterns and replace them with conscious ones. When your system is running, success becomes your natural mode. You instinctively make choices that support your values. You operate from a foundation of design rather than reaction. This is your ultimate competitive advantage. You stop fighting yourself and start moving toward the life you are meant to lead. Build your life architecture to ensure this lasts forever. Connect your growth to a purpose larger than yourself. Surround yourself with people who hold you to high standards. Your rebuilt self is not a destination. It is the beginning of an endless journey of becoming. Stay focused, stay disciplined, and keep building. Your potential is limitless.